right, David. Excited to hear your story. Good to see you. I start all of these off by listening to what your personal franchise story is. How do you even fall into franchising? How do you even get to this place?
Uh, Nick, first off, great to be here. Thank you for having me. I know we've talked many times before, and like I said, it's great catching up with you. Uh, you know, the Royal Restroom story is probably uh, different than most. My business partner Robert and we never intended to franchise or actually even be outside of our normal day to day jobs of what we were doing 20 years ago. Um, when we started in the portable restroom industry, it was by, kind of pure accident. But we stumbled into something that was a necessity. Here we were, you know, 21st century. We're going to the bathroom at festivals, parties, weddings in a porta john, and how was that acceptable? Uh, we drew out a half bath setting and put it on a trailer. And from that, it just kind of sparked and took off. And wow, here we are. But to answer your question more directly, franchising, we started out as a license, and we licensed our our name brand, more a collaborative working effort together with other offices that wanted to venture in to try this. The portable restroom industry as a whole is still very much family oriented, handed down, very small, very local. Um, Nothing really too nationalized except for maybe United Site Services, Waste Management. Now there's United Rentals as well. But back then there wasn't anybody doing it the same across the country. It's just very locally regionalized and very much just a porta potty. So when we came in with a real restroom on a trailer, it completely changed the entire industry, which is why we had a lot of success at the very beginning. But we were hit, I guess, I don't even know how you want to say this. An attorney general at a state petitioned us to become a licensee, and they said that we were more like a franchise, and they halted all of our growth. And it took about 2 years, but they made us become a franchise. And that's why we became a franchise.
All right, let's unpack that a little bit. You get that news. Uh, like how do you even react to that? Are you like instantly does your dream as a business owner change to now we got to play defense and this could be the end of us?
Yes, it was very overwhelming, especially for small business, not a lot of growth, not a lot of financial backing. Um, we did a lot of this out of our own pocket, not with a bank, not with venture capitalists, because who wants to finance a portable, a bathroom on a trailer that they've never heard of? They can't categorize it. They can't even put our business into a platform.
Yeah.
Um, so when we got that news, it was pretty much, holy cow, what do we do? Locally in Savannah, Georgia, there's not franchise attorneys. There's not even really that many attorneys that are capable of handling stuff nationally from a business standpoint. It's just, there are so few nationally recognized businesses, and especially something so small like we were. We didn't even have an attorney on retainer. We had a friend that helped us along. Um, but they made us stop everything. We had to stop advertising. We could not even communicate with the people that were inquiring about opening an office. And actually, when we were able to finally contact those people, it was over 800 different franchises. And a lot of those people opened up in, their own little small market, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
It's portable restrooms. This industry, it's very easy to get started in it. It's kind of like a second side gig. You can buy a portable restroom and then you can rent it on the side. Kind of like if you buy a rental house, and use it for second income. All of a sudden you're not really in real estate. You just have kind of a side gig. You own one or two houses.
Right.
But to make it a formidable business and to make livelihood out of this, you need a lot of help. You can do this on the side, but to make it a real business, to be to handle the demand that is out there, you have to make it a real business. And that is what Robert and I did with this. Was we made Royal Restrooms a legitimate business. We have a model, we have a game plan, and we follow it, and we try to teach people the same model, but also allow them their own way to run a business.
How many franchises do you guys have?
So right now we still have a pretty big mix of both franchisees and licensees. And most of them own multiple offices. So this year alone, we have new franchisees in Spokane, Washington. We're opening one in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We opened Austin, Texas, as well as Shreveport, Louisiana, and Mobile, Alabama. Total franchisees, we have about 17, and we have about another 12 licensees. Combined, it's about 50 territorial offices.
Okay. So would I be wrong to say, when I said share your franchise story, it's not a good story, because like most brands that say I want, like, they're dreaming big and they become a franchise because they're on this ride of dreaming big and trying to catch the dream. You were dreaming big. You didn't think you were doing anything wrong. So you're almost like, are you mad at franchising at that point?
Yes, because it hit the pocketbook hard. It made us realign everything. It killed our momentum, and you can see in the market, we have a lot of copycats. There's a lot of people that follow what Royal Restrooms did, that have followed our model from what they've seen. I mean, it's so funny. We have, logoed mints in our bathrooms. In a portable restroom, we have mints, but it's one of our little nuances that we do, and it's absolutely amazing how many people copy that. Just reading from on our website, what sometimes it's almost verbatim what we've written on ours or in a story or something. It's crazy. And not to discredit any of those people. There's no way that one business can cover everything, and it's no different than a hamburger shop. There's plenty of good competition out there. Many people do a lot. Everybody does a great job in their own way. They wouldn't be in business if they weren't. But franchising is, it is something that we did not intend to do. This entire business did. We didn't even really mean for it to expand or blow up the way that it did. I was a fairly successful local banker here with a local bank. In fact, I just helped bring a bank from out of town to the Savannah market. My business partner was a very well-established engineer, and in his field, he had actually brought a business to Savannah as well. Robert did. But this business just kind of took us by surprise. And the demand was really overwhelming. And the people that came and used our facilities, they said, we have got to have this back home. We don't, but we don't want to learn. We don't know anything about this. And we were the same way. We didn't come from this background. We didn't have, you know, any idea what we were doing in the portable restroom industry. We learned it all from trial and error, tears, you know, getting dirty, getting nasty, you name it, you know. So how do we market this? How do we make it easier for someone else? And fortunately, all of our early people, our early license, our early offices, and they are all still with us except for the ones that have retired and sold. They all have a entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
They, you know, they saw what they knew was a good thing. They took hold of it, and really, I think a lot of our success not only came from, you know, the newness of what we had, but every one of our licenses and franchisees, they wore Royal Restroom on their sleeve. You know, they lived it, they breathed it, it was there. They put their heart and soul into it, and that's what really made the difference. Um, and we the you know, through the years, everything everything just continued to I guess turn into the business that we are today. Um, and you know, we're thankful where we are. We've passed that turmoil, or that bridge, and we're not rapid growth. We're not really trying to go out there and uh, sell 100 offices or even open 100 offices. We're not able to do that. We're not, you know, we don't have the capabilities to do that. A long time ago, we have a very small corporate office that doesn't really truly go out and try to sell offices. We don't go to the trade shows. It's not where we put our energy and focus. Uh, our focus is more on our offices, uh, um, building the brand, doing things differently, being innovative, bringing new products, testing new products. How can we make our offices more successful? Um, you know, and that's by doing different, testing different restroom trailers. You know, building some of them in house, to also experimenting outside of just restroom trailers. We're looking at our 20 years anniversary, so we're looking at expanding into mobile offices, beverage trailers, um, refrigeration trailers, bunk trailers, you know, in addition to the fleet that we already have, such as with shower trailers and sink trailers and restroom trailers. Um, all of these things are by creating more possibilities, you know, create additional opportunities for us. Um,
How many restrooms would a franchise owner have in their fleet?
um, so the average one of our offices probably has got somewhere between 35 and 50 trailers. But some of them have, as you know, as many as 150. Our brand new offices, we typically start them out with 2 to 3 trailers, but usually by the end of the year, they have 8. By year 2, they're sitting around 15 trailers. And then they usually level out, you know, 15 to 20 trailers over the next couple years until they hit that next big growth spurt. And that's usually a little bit of them deciding, how big do I want to get?
So how the largest owner owns how many locations?
The largest owner owns probably 5 locations. And then we've got a couple of them that are in partnership that own, I'd say 4 to 5 locations as well.
It's awesome. I mean, look, I think you clearly solve a need. It would be fun to sit around, have a beer, and come up with all the fun things that you can say about bathrooms and making money. Like, I'm like, in my head, number one and the number two business just keeps coming into my brain. So,
Yes,
that's the point is, I think you can have fun with it. I think you are having fun with it. Even the mints in the bathroom are making it fun. Um, Out of
absolutely.
curiosity, because I'm curious, how much does, like, if I'm going to rent this for an event, like what does what's an average ticket for rental?
It changes from territory to territory because
Sure.
but for an average rental in the, southeastern United States, you're typically looking at about $1,000, for a small 2-stall trailer.
And that's for how long? How long a period?
That's for a 1-day rental.
Okay, got it.
Usually we'll drop it off on Thursday or Friday and pick it up on a Monday. If it's a longer weekend event and it's going to be used multiple days, of course the price goes up because you have to do some cleaning and maintenance and
Right.
emptying, I guess you can say.
Does partnership with waste management, is that part of the onboarding? Do you have to have that, or is there disposal that doesn't require waste management?
Um, so all of our trailers have holding tanks. So it's kind of an above ground septic tank. So each one has a holding tank, which will have to be, I guess, pumped out. It's kind of like an RV,
Right.
but a really big tank. So we partner with a lot of the local pumping companies that don't have the porta potties because their business is different than ours. Their revenue is generated on the pumping side, on the volume of sales. They're not really in the business of renting the portable toilets. Their business is of servicing them, whereas our business is renting the unit.
Right. I see. I mean, look, I think it's a very fascinating category. Clearly, you're creating a pathway. You're not saying I want to grow too quickly, which I think is smart. You're like, let's build the infrastructure around what we got, which is great. What's your dream for this now then? How where I mean, you talked about innovation and expansion into other things, but what's your dream?
My dream continues to change. It kind of continues to evolve. One day I want to see a Royal Restroom in every, you know, city, 200,000 or more, in every state. And other times I like the quiet uniqueness of it and getting to, hear about, I guess, my other office owners' dreams or how they're doing, and a way to keep it more like a family rather than a business, which that has its weaknesses, or strengths and weaknesses all in itself. Because when you can't get to everyone, you kind of lose touch, and you don't mean to do that, but that's what happens, and that's one of probably my biggest fears of complete expansion. Um, but I would like to see us evolve into, uh, more of a complete event trailer company. One where we get back to doing a lot of disaster response and emergency management type thing, but also into the commercial market where we're doing longer term rentals, and stuff at your Lowe's, your Home Depots, and in that market. But at the same time, we love doing festivals and car shows and horse races, and a lot of those events are higher end and require a different caliber of trailer, and those events are also fun. But there's a need at those other events for your beverage trailers, your refrigeration trailers, your office trailers. I mean, there's we get so many calls on so many different things that if we could just, we could add on so many different things to enhance people's events or projects that they're doing, um, because of everything that we've seen over the years. I love, wedding planners when they're tell us, oh, trailer needs to go here. This is how it needs to be done. It's like, you do 20, 30 weddings a year. I do 1,000.
Yeah, right.
Like I know what, not saying I know better than you, not, but we've done this.
Yeah, you're a wedding planner too.
Thousands of times. We know the best flow. We know what works the best. Please just listen to us just a little bit. Please, grandma does not want to walk 200 yards. Make sure it's a well lit path. Please don't put us so far in the corner that nobody even uses this. Not everybody's going to eat the shrimp cocktail, but 95% chance everybody here will go to the bathroom.
Right. That's a great point.
And
maybe that's what you gotta start treating this like they do in Europe, where you gotta pay $1 to use a bathroom.
Oh yeah, that is interesting. I've been all over the world with this business, and even talking in Europe, and being at the conventions at Eurotoy in Germany and the way that people view going to the bathroom, the way trailers are made, the way different stalls are is crazy. I did not even know up until a couple of years ago what I don't know. It's just a hole in the floor. I mean, they literally have porta potties with a hole in the floor. I'm drawing a blank on what it's called, but it's, nothing's wrong. It's just different. It's not what we're used to.
Well, look, nobody wants to go in a porta potty. I mean, I'll say there's a music venue in Chicago, Northern Island. I love sitting in their VIP section. I mean, sitting VIP is fun, period. It costs a little bit more money. But what I love is they have basically a portable toilet that is air conditioned and nice and smells good, and I like that, and I like the padded seats. I'm low maintenance, but the bathroom is one of the selling points. So,
well, and that's about one of the last two private things we do as individuals. Count our money and go to the bathroom. We like to do that behind closed doors or somewhat hidden, and we like to do it comfortably.
Yeah.
And so it's a necessity.
You're solving the world's issues,
right?
So
you go.
So David, to close this out, there's someone that has now watched this, and they're like, okay, I'm interested in the business. In a short answer, what is the why now? Why should someone reach out to you now?
Right now the market is still not flooded. We have amazing growth potential. We have the established foothold still. Secondly, whatever territory we plop into next, people do not want to see us come into their area. They know what will happen. We've seen it. We've opened offices where people where there's competition, and we've bought their trailers. But for the most part, this is a business that you can be proud of. You work it and you earn it. It's something that you build on. It's not something completely that we tell you everything that you have to do. you have a say in this. You have a say in building your business in your market. We don't require you uh, to have all of the, a certain truck. We don't require you to make sure that you have a certain kind of trailer. But what we do want you to do is make sure that they meet all of those standards. It's like, you can't use single ply toilet paper. We got to have double ply. We're not going to tell you exactly which one, but you've got to have, a premium double ply. And so the costs are not so expensive. We have a 6% royalty fee on your gross. That is well below what the average is. Our franchise fees are low, but we want you to grow. And we need the growth in certain areas, because we have so many, I guess, leads, especially from the Northeast and the middle of the country, that we just don't have an office that's
right
close enough.
Demand is there. Yeah.
And the sad thing is it's like, why does somebody in Minnesota need to be renting from Tennessee or Virginia or Georgia? There's clearly a need if we're making the trips up there. We just rented stuff in Ohio not too long ago, Pennsylvania. I think Aixa rented something in Maine. That clearly says that there's a need for our services, especially if they're renting all the way from here, because our offices stop right now in Virginia. We have Virginia and Tennessee, and then we hop over to Texas, and then Colorado and Utah. So there's a big gap there. But most importantly, it's a business that doesn't necessarily feel like a franchise, but one that actually feels like you're the owner of it.
Well, look, and that was part of the mission before you were your hand was forced to go in franchising. So
yeah,
you've done a great job. So look, I like the category. If I'm thinking about buyers, anybody that's already servicing event management, like this seems like a perfect tag on to other businesses. And I can look at this thing and see a million different opportunities. So impressed with what you put together. I appreciate you sharing your story. Thanks, and obviously I look forward to seeing where it goes. So for David, I'm Nick. This is another episode of Meet the Zor. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.